It is very interesting to consider, for example, the idea of hoplitism during the ancient Greece. In fact, we know that this type of structure of hoplitism, or the idea of a defense of a territory, it was particularly in relation with the city-states. In fact, we know that in the ancient Greek society, there were a lot of city-states. Therefore, we have to consider the hoplitism in relation with the city-states. But in particular, we know that only one exception in the hoplitism, it was Sparta. In fact, the city of Sparta considered the possibility, or better, that the citizens of Sparta in this sense were always and only the aristocrats, and at the same time they develop a specific type of training that it was in relation with the idea that they continue all days to develop this type of training. The ilots, the slaves of Sparta, and the women of Sparta developed a specific type of work to maintain the citizens of Sparta, in this sense the aristocrats who defended the territory. On the other hand, we know that also there is another type of argument that in any case it was in relation with the fact that if we have to consider the hoplites in the ancient Greeks in general, we have to understand that the hoplites were normal citizens. Therefore, when there was a war, the men who worked in the agriculture situation, or the men who work in general in his activity, when there was the war, he developed a specific type of defense. Therefore, he bought a shield, for example, or a sword to defend the territory. In this sense, we have to understand, therefore, that in general the ancient hoplites weren't specifically, apart of the exception of Sparta, technically always in training. In fact, these hoplites were normal citizens. Then, when there was a war, they leave their work for a specific type of time, and then participated at the defense of a territory. We know also that in this sense, this type of defense of a territory, it was in relation also with the idea of citizenship. Therefore, if you wanted to be an important citizen, or if you wanted to participate at the citizenship, you have to defend the territory. And therefore, for example, in the idea of in general the city-states, we know that in general, in the city-states, only the aristocrats could participate at the defense of the territory. In Athens, this type of idea, it was developed in relation with the different type of differences that Athens developed. In particular, in fact, we know that before the reform of Clisthenes, and also before the reform of the wealth, there was before the reform of Clisthenes, there was a reform in relation with wealth. Therefore, we know that before Clisthenes, you could participate at the defense of a territory in relation with specifically your wealth. Therefore, the product of your work, that it was in relation with your work. In fact, the product of your work, therefore, in this sense, develop a specific type of wealth in relation with the difference between supply and cost, that develop a specific type of wealth that you can explain to your city-state. When you were in this range of product, therefore you can develop or you can explain a specific type of defense of a territory. And this is the first type of idea to limit the privilege of the aristocrats. In fact, before this type of idea of the classes, only the aristocrats in Athens could participate at the defense of the territory. Therefore, in the period of after the reform of Clisthenes, we know that there were other type of reforms in relation with, for example, the idea of Pericles, that explained in the sense that the public works had to pay. Therefore, the people who worked in the public works had to pay for the public works. But at the same time, we know that there were some reforms about this type of relationship to the defense of the territory in relation with the fact that, for example, also the middle class in general, and also people that were in a class inferior to the middle class, could participate to the defense of the territory, in particular with the reform that Pericles developed in relation with the ships. In fact, Pericles, according to Pericles, this type of reform, it was in relation with the fact that the citizens who had to conduct the ships could participate in the defense of the territory. Therefore, they, in this sense, are part of politically of the citizenship of Athens. This is also really interesting. Therefore, this type of reforms try to explain, in this sense, that also the people who didn't participate, who weren't part of the aristocracy could participate at the defense of the territory. Therefore, could have an important role in the city, in the idea of citizenship, and this is really interesting. We know that also, for example, the citizenship that participate at the defense of the territory on the fleet, they had also a payment in relation with their journey in these fleets, in particular in relation with the days. Therefore, when they survive, and in relation with the day when they survive, the public welfare paid them in day per day, in this sense, because the payment in ancient Greece, it was often considered per day, and this is also really interesting. Therefore, we know that in this sense, Athens, it was a structure, specifically a specific type of democracy, developed a specific type of potential opening to a lot of citizens, or a lot of potential citizens who could participate in the defense of the territory, to have an important potential role in the politics. Not only, therefore, the aristocrats that lost their privilege, but to the other potential inhabitants of Athens. Bye.